business, like not like a football team. Like it was always about the money, right? Like there was the controversy that he never, made the team a non-profit. So like a lot of people were like kind of curious as to what was actually going on with the money. Like he would buy, like Oilers season seats, and then he would sell them for like 50% markup, and it was just like in the group chat, it was like fees, fees, fees. We were all like playing video games in his basement, and then Nick Saban actually like called him just to be like, "Hey man, like we're still good for this." Like it was insane, right? And it was like these coaches that you're seeing on TV are like calling my buddy just to, like.
Hello and welcome back to the Mic Check Show. Today it's a little cold, but we're going to have a hot one as a show. That came out terrible, but whatever. So today we have the one, the only Graham Hagstrom. Hey Graham, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Just a little chilly. I don't know how cold it is up in. Are you in Edmonton?
Fort Sask.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little bit north.
How cold is it up there? A little chilly?
A little chilly. A little chillier than I want it to be.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I can't wait for the summer. I don't work well with the cold.
No, I don't think anybody really does.
True. Alrighty. So we're gonna dive deep into this right now. So for your career, where did your love for football begin?
Well, my dad would always take me to the Eskimos games, like when with the Ricky Ray days with Fred Stamps, and I just loved watching. And then I started playing Madden, and I started playing with the Cowboys. I just loved their uniforms, like when they had Tony Romo, and then when Des Bryant came to town, and when I like went to high school, like Bev Facey had a team, and I'm from Fort Sask. It's a relatively smaller town, and when I was going into high school, they were really, really, green into their football program. Like they didn't even have matching jerseys at that point. So then that's when I started playing, and they were probably one of the biggest teams in Canada. So that's when I got the real, like, a real live look at how football really is.
Okay, nice. What do you feel about the Eskimos changing to the Elks?
I'm not a fan of it myself. I mean,
Yeah, it doesn't
I
feel
think that
right.
everyone's gonna have an opinion about it, right? But I think that, like, from what I've read, there were a lot of groups that, found it to honor them, right? And like, obviously, there's some that were offended by it, but I think, I think the story was that like Bel Direct and like Coca-Cola were their sponsors, and they were the ones that said like, if you guys don't change the name, we're not gonna sponsor you anymore. And then they made like the team pay like a couple $1 million to change it, right? Like, if you're gonna make them do it, and then they have to pay for it too, right? Like that's not cool.
Sucks. Yeah, it's hard. It's weird to seeing Elks instead of Eskimos because, of course, we grew up watching the Eskimos, but it is what it is.
I just hope they put a better product on the field. Like it's been pretty rough lately.
Oh, I know. It's I've been to one game before. Stadium's great. It's just the product's kind of shoddy.
They've gotten a little bit better. Like they got Killam as their head coach now, and then they got some good pieces. It's just putting it all together.
There we go. One day they'll get back to the glory days.
One day.
Yeah. Hopefully we can say the same about the Cowboys.
Hey, well, I think we're still in the hunt.
I
We
think
lost
so.
to Detroit. I know we got to re-sign George Pickens, though. I like him.
Oh yeah, it's like that offense is pretty good. I don't know what it is about the Cowboys. Keep failing every year with the playoffs and how the team is, but
It always seem like they're unprepared. Like even that
yeah,
Green Bay game, like they didn't even show up, right? And it's just it boggles my mind because they've had great rosters. Like 2014, like I still think Des caught it, and then 16 there, Dak and Zeke's rookie year. It was Rodgers to Cook, and then that field goal to walk it off. Like I mean, that was just like an insane play, right? 1 in 100.
oh yeah, it's definitely frustrating being a fan. Well, I would know. I'm a Raiders fan. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I've been in the pit forever.
yeah.
So so Cowboys isn't so bad than a Raiders fan. I have to
Hey,
say,
we're on equal playing field here. We're
pretty much.
suffering together.
I just stopped watching at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get back to you. So, you went to Bedfacey High School. I am familiar with it. My cousin actually went there, but Chuba Hubbard went there as well?
Yeah, yeah. He's
Yeah,
on Carolina now.
yeah. So, what was it like blocking for a future NFL player?
It was crazy. I'm happy I got that experience because even like you see the guys on TV, like you go to the Elks games and you see the pro players and just like practicing with him every day, like just seeing like he was born with natural talent. Like
Mhm.
he works hard. Like the guy was probably squatting, 3 plates in like grade 11. Like it was insane. Like he was at another level and like it was an experience I'm glad I had Mike Gundy like came to our high school to like the Oklahoma State's
Oh
old
yeah, okay.
coach and we were all like playing video games in his basement and then Nick Saban actually like called him just to be like, "Hey man, like we're still good for this." Like it was insane, right? And it was like these coaches that you're seeing on TV are like calling my buddy just to, like say what's up and see if he's still thinking of him, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's pretty wild to get an experience like that. Um, During practice, before he got all that attention, did you kind of know? Yeah, this guy's gonna make it.
'Cause I met him start of high school because he was playing, I think, Sherwood Park Rams in Bantam. And even then, like, I think as a high schooler, he could have probably been like a Team Canada Olympic runner. Like his speed was like Olympic level. Like
Oh,
I think everyone kind of knew that like this guy's definitely gonna go Div 1 because at that time, like there weren't as many, like Canadian players going Div 1. Like Lawal Uguak, like a Joe, they're on like Montreal and Saskatchewan. Like met them like through, football as well, but like that was even before their time. Like Chuba was one of him and the Ogbongdoa brothers from Notre Dame Calgary High School. They were like the originals to like go Div 1.
oh yeah, yeah. It's great to see too that Canadian products are getting the attention and playing down south.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah, sucks for me because my high school had like zero attention, zero film. But hey, it is what it is. The future's bright for Canadian football players.
I definitely think so.
Oh yeah. All right. So after high school, you took 4 years off to work. What made you decide to do that instead of playing for juniors or university if you had the offers?
Mm, I really just wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life at that point. Like kinesiology, like always interested me, but I mean, I wanted to start making some money, like move out of my house. And like at that time, the oil field was still busting, right? And,
Mm.
I got a job at the Kinder Morgan plant out in Sherwood Park. And there were lots of like pipeline jobs up north. And like, you started doing it and you're making crazy money. And, like I stuck with it, right? Like I was making good money and I was doing well. And I mean, like football at that point, like it was kind of a pipe dream, right? Because, at that point, like not a lot of Canadian guys are getting a lot of attention. And
Mm.
if I, at that point, like U of A was like in the toilet as a program. Like they've turned things around, but at that point, that's when like, they were winning like one game a year and,
Yeah.
and even like like in Grand Prairie, right? Like there's no junior team up north. So I couldn't have made that work.
Okay. What made you decide to go back to it after all these years?
I just, I realized that it was my last year of eligibility before I aged out. And at that point, like when I was working, like I wasn't working out, drinking beer, like my lifestyle wasn't really good. And
Mhm.
I just kind of, I'd see like some of my old football buddies at the bar or whatever, and it would get me thinking about it. And then, like, one of the only teams I'd actually talked to after high school was the Valley Huskers in Chilliwack. And like,
Okay.
I was talking to Bob Reese, their coach, and I was like, "Hey, man, like, I've taken 4 years off. Like, this is my last year. Want to get back into shape, want to start playing ball again." He was more than happy to take me on. So probably season would have started say June and October I started hitting the gym again and had about 6 months to get ready. Yeah.
Gonna say that's plenty of time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So of course, going to the Huskers, that kind of answers one of the questions I was thinking, because why the Huskers over closer teams,
Mm.
but of course, loyalty there. What was it like playing in Chilliwack and playing for the Huskers?
I loved it. Like Chilliwack's a beautiful place. As a family, we didn't really vacation there much, so I didn't have the opportunity to live down there. And like my billet family was really nice. And I mean, like the way I learned like playing there, like how seriously in junior, like they take it. Because like when I was in high school, like like a play would be like right, 3, 2, 1, right? Like your routes to just be like the number or whatever. And like here, like our OC was Blair Atkinson, and now he's OC at U of Manitoba Bisons, and like just how precision he was with the playbook. Like in high school, if you were a better athlete than the other guy, and like your route was to 12, like if you went to 8 or 16, you catch the ball and run past them. They weren't gonna really care, right? Whereas
Oh, yeah.
him, it was like you got to go to 12, like or else you're busting the route, and it just really kind of it was a perspective I hadn't seen before of like how, the X's and O's are super important, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I went to the Colts for a bit, and yeah, it's like completely different atmosphere.
Absolutely.
Yeah, then you kind of realize, yeah, my high school coaches don't know shit.
Yep.
Jeez. Alrighty. So speaking, so for your position, I know now you're playing the end.
Mhm.
What'd you play for the Huskers?
I was a receiver. So like
Okay.
I started doing that. Like I was probably 195, I got up to 205 during COVID. So I was more of like a tight end, but we had this I want to say Polynesian tight end. He came in, his name was Mateo Tuodi, and he was brand new to football, and he ended up he's in Queens now and he's one of their starters, but
Huh.
like I was playing behind him, and like even he was like probably 6'5". Like he wasn't like hitting the gym like I did. But like I played really sparingly because like I said, I had taken, 4 years off, and I was just, hitting the bench press is one thing, and one of the things it taught me too was like that functional strength, like your lateral movement is just as important because like, like you watch a guy like DK Metcalf that can outbench everybody. Like in the Canadian style of football, like his game isn't necessarily, going to work as well, right? With like the waggles and everything. And that kind of taught
Oh,
me that maybe being the biggest receiver out there isn't the most efficient way, right?
true. Oh, I guess it all depends. If you're like right in the box blocking, and yeah, it's good, but open space,
Mm.
unless you get your hands on that guy, it doesn't really matter.
Well, you got to have a good tight end package too, because even with I think Elite and Bucs, like they tried to do a tight end package, but even then, like you only have like 3 plays, and like if teams watch film, they're gonna see your setup and know it can only be 3 things, right?
Oh yeah, it's true. Yeah, and that's the difference with the Canadian game and the American game. American game you can have
Mm-hmm.
all these plays out of a tight end spot. Canadian, not so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, so moving on. Of course, as an athlete, we all experience setbacks in our lives, especially in the game of football. What's yours, if you don't mind sharing, and how did you overcome it?
Well, I mean, it was just like with the Huskers, right? Like I came there, and I think that my expectations that I set for myself are a little bit higher than what was actually going to come, right? Because like I wasn't really a recruit of theirs. Like they had talked to me, 4 or 5 years ago, and then I just shown up off the street, and like they had their own recruits that like were young guys, and that like they could get 4 or 5 years of development out of, and I was just this guy that's going to be gone in a year, right? And like I pretty well only played specials, and I guess I was more of a locker room guy, if you will, and it just really discouraged me because like I had put all this work in, and like obviously on the field I wasn't seeing any of it, and like it really discouraged me because I was like, maybe like because I wanted to continue my football career after like this season, and uh, like one of my trainer Tyler Henry, I met him when he was going to U of A to do his kinesiology, and then he's actually like Tennessee Vols like
Damn.
strength coach there, and he still writes my programs to this day, and like I was telling him like because I when I was in high school I'd worked with him, and then like obviously when I was working like I got contact with him because I wasn't really working out, and I hit him up again. I was like, man, like what I'm doing isn't working. Like I gotta, actually get on a plan here. It's actually going to build some functional strength because, like, you can't just be a north south runner. Like, you got to be able to cut. You got to be able to, move laterally. And like, he got me on the right path, like actually getting me to be more of a functional strength athlete.
Okay, so it's always important to have guys like that in your life, just kind of get you out of those funks, and
Oh,
of course
absolutely.
help you with the football aspect of life and of
Oh,
working out in general.
100%.
Gonna say,
Oh,
has
yeah.
that
Like,
helped you in the boxing field? Because I know you box a little bit.
yeah, I've been boxing for about a couple years now. So, when I switched to DN, that was midway through my second season with Elite. I used to work out at the Commonwealth Rec Center, and all the Elks would go there.
Mhm.
And like Niles Morgan, one of their linebackers, I started talking to him, and me and him have been doing some one-on-one training. He recommended the boxing to me for defensive end, like, because you're working the hands and that hand-eye coordination. And like it's the best cardio I've ever done in my life. Like boxing is second to none, right? Like, football, like you have a 20-second play and then, the whistle goes, but in boxing it's like that 2 minute round, like you gotta be on, like you gotta be focused, you gotta be on it, right? And like it's helped me, like obviously keeping in shape and then like working the hands too for off the edge.
Okay, perfect. Have you done any amateur fights yet?
I did a smoker in July. So boxing Alberta is really hard to get a license with. So like what a lot of gyms will do is that, like, if the gym owners are friends, they'll get like three gyms together and they'll just have like a little card. So like my guy pulled out. So there was another heavyweight at the gym I go to, and me and him like had a 3 minute or 3 round 2 minute fight. And it was like a draw, but it was a good experience to actually, like fight in the ring.
Oh yeah, instead of just punching the bag or just working with the trainer.
Exactly that.
Oh, perfect. All right, so this is one of my favorite parts of my shows, the funny stories. So, of course, as an athlete, we all have funny and interesting stories on and off the field. Can you give us one?
Well, it's funny. So in Chilliwack, I played with Josh Yee. He plays for, like, he's on the Wolfpack. He's been on
Yep.
your show.
Yeah.
But I love that kid. He was the funniest guy in junior. Like, he
Yep.
was this quiet, quiet guy. He was going to, to be a pastor. And like after the games, like, we would win. We would blast the music. Like it would be, the gangster rap, and Yee would have his shirt off. He'd just be screaming and dancing. On the bus ride, he'd be rapping like, oh, that guy is so funny.
He's a great guy. It's funny because
I love him, yeah.
you got this minister who's who loves to party, but without like the alcohol and stuff like that.
Exactly that. Yeah, never drank. Yeah.
Yeah. So, are you excited to go up against him this year?
I've been going up against him like since I got into the league, but it's always a good battle because like he's amazing at what he does. Like those really, short linemen, like their technique is because you can't just push him over because if I have my hands here, you're above his head, right? So you got to
Yeah.
really dig in and get low, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I gotta get lower than the ground pretty much.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so I think a lot of people are going to be interested in this part of the show. The Edmonton Elite. What
Oh
the
yeah.
hell happened with that team and the downfall?
Like so much, man. Like I don't even know where to start. Like it was at the top, man. Like the owner, they like the guy ran it like a business, like not like a football team. Like it was always about the money, right? Like there was the controversy that he never, made the team a nonprofit. So like a lot of people were like kind of curious as to what was actually going on with the money. Like he would buy, like Oilers season seats, and then he would sell them for like 50% markup. And it was just like in the group chat, it was like fees, 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 fees. Like we would win, right? And all he would say in the group chat is player fee Friday, right? And he'd put the dollar amount. And we had this one player, I think he had cerebral palsy, like he had a disability, and like Trace was awesome. We love him. But one of the things like he would say that really ticked a lot of people off is like, he's like, oh, you guys can't pay fees, and like Trace can't even run and he's paying the $500. It's like, no, you're the jackass because you're charging a guy with cerebral palsy $500 to like be a cheerleader, right? Like it makes
Yeah.
absolutely no sense. And
Jeez.
like there's just so much drama with him. Like he would, we would bring on guys like off the street, right? Like we'd have really good guys, and there'd be constant beef in the group chats. Like every week, like guys would just be at each other's throats, and they wouldn't even do anything about it. Like they would just, you know, kick him out of the group chat for the day, and then at practice they would be jawing. And like you think like the person running the team would like do it professionally. Like he had this girlfriend that he was seeing like since the inception of the team, and like he was in his late 30s, she was probably in her mid 20s, so like she was like the age of a lot of the players. And
Yeah.
you know, like they would go out to White Ave or whatever, and I guess they ended up breaking up, like the owner and the girl, and like she would still go out and party on White with the players, and she ended up like sleeping with one of the players,
Oh, jeez.
which I mean is, well, and I mean it's like, you know, consensual, whatever,
Oh, yeah.
it's their personal life. And he found out because I guess like she was angry with him, and she was like saying like bragging to him that she had done this, and it was like it could have been a non-issue, right? Like that had, you know, nothing to do with elite football. Like that was its own issue. Like nobody needed to know. But then the owner goes in the group chat and he's like, just so you guys know, if you're thinking about sleeping with her, maybe not a good idea. I think one of your teammates is kind of regretting it. And it's like what do you think is going to happen, right? Like everyone's going to want to know who it is. Everyone's going to want to know the full story, right? And it's just like you're creating drama out of nothing.
Okay. So it's a lot of course, it seemed like drama was more important than the actual team and the game.
100%. Like the elite had great athletes. Like they had great players. Like they should have done better than they did. It was just like off the field drama, and like people that just, you know, you had like three guys with different visions trying to run the team, and it was like just different groups. Like it was never like one unit, it felt like.
Okay. Because I know Brad Rains played for the Elite for a bit, and he said he had a great
Mhm.
time. So I guess it was before, well, maybe before all this drama happened, or he just didn't pay attention to it.
I mean,
Because
some guys
were
didn't
you
pay
there from the
attention
start?
to it. Yeah, like no, Brad was a good guy. Like he, you know, a lot of guys just kind of ignored it, and I think a lot of guys like just wanted to show up and play football, but it was just, you know, like you go in the group chat and that's all you see is guys arguing, right?
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, it's definitely not how you run a team. Um, so moving on from the Elite, you went to the Bucs. What can you say about the experience? Well, what's the difference between both teams?
Well, I think that the Bucks are more of a family, right? Like, you know, the way that Paul and Corey run the team is like, you know, if there's stuff going on in the league, like they'll, you know, let the guys know. They're like, hey guys, like, you know, go into the meeting. This is what's gonna be going on, right? Like he's not, you know, leaving guys in the dark. Like one other thing I wanted to bring up about the elite was with that whole thing with the Gators and not playing them. Like
Mhm.
I like obviously I was with the Bucks when that happened, and like that day, like I talked to some of the elite players, and a lot of them wanted to go, like because they had the, I think the Gators had that second site set up, right, for the,
Yeah, yeah, and Lacombe.
yeah, and like yeah, and like a lot of those players wanted to do it, but like they said they weren't consulted at all. They just said guys are not playing, and like I went to the Elks game that Saturday because like the Bucks didn't have a game, and the owner was, he's the ball boy for like the Elks games, and he was there doing it, so he clearly had no intention of
Yeah.
going to that Lacombe game, right? And I just find with the Bucks, man, like the transparency is a lot better. Like they're more of a family, right? Like everyone's in it for each other. Like there's no, you know, arguing in the group chat. Like I mean, obviously as a team, like we struggled a lot, right? Like it was, you know, hard to get guys to come out, but you know, guys are still building each other up. They're positive. You know, like the friendship is something I feel a lot more.
Okay. So with the Bucks feeling more like a family, is that why you stuck with the Bucks during these struggles instead of going to like, I'll say either the Cowboys or the Jets?
Well, I think so, and like I have a lot of friends on the Jets that came from the elite, but you know, like I really like the Bucks players, and like I want to, you know, try and help those guys out because I mean, like you know, I don't want to, you know, be there for the bad part and then just dip on them. Like I want to be there to see things through. And I think that if we just get some more recruiting going and get a little bit more buy-in from guys, like I think we things could definitely turn around.
Okay. Hopefully it does, because the community loves the Bucs and great
Oh,
players
absolutely.
competing. So, are you involved in recruiting or just working on yourself?
It's really hard for me because I'm not from around there. Like, if
Uh,
I had gone to a high school, Pinoka, Camrose, Wetaskiwin, Red Deer, Sylvan Lake, like all those Central Alberta, like I think would be really good for us to recruit from. But I'm not from there, so if I were to like show up to the school, like nobody would know who I was. But
yeah.
I think like a lot more of those guys are coming. A lot more of those guys are going to be doing that. So I hope that we're going to see a lot more like new young faces, right?
Okay. That's good to hear. Yeah, because the last thing we need is teams dropping out of the league. And I always think
Hmm.
that getting guys from high school is the way to go if they're not playing
Absolutely.
here. But yeah, there's a lot of schools in Red Deer area.
Yes.
Yeah. Alrighty. So speaking of you and the Bucs, what can we expect from you for 2026 season?
Well, I'm still going to be playing defensive end. Like, I'm still working on my hands, perfecting my craft. I think for me, it's just really like still perfecting that technique, right? Like I've only been playing DN for a couple of years now.
Mhm.
And I think it's just, kind of, more recognizing what the old lineman's going to be doing, like just, kind of getting that muscle memory. Like if he's going to do this, I'm going to do that. And, I think that as we get more guys to the Bucks, like you get more, chemistry with guys as you play more. I think that it's, getting more, chemistry as a unit. I think that, things will look a lot better, right? Because you trust that the guy beside you is going to do his job, and then you can kind of focus on holding your contain or whatever the play wants you to do.
Yeah. Isn't it kind of impressive too? Because you haven't played DN for, well, you're still kind of new at it, but you made first team All Pro. So what do you say about that?
I think I'm just working hard and listening to my coaches, and it's paying off. I was really, yeah, I'm really happy with how I'm doing.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'll say it's definitely a bright spot in the Bucks down year to have at least you make first team All Pro,
Mhm.
and hopefully they can build on that.
Absolutely. Like like Corey French, he was a really good linebacker. He had to miss a couple of games with injury, but he was leading the league in tackles for a lot of the season. Then, Brett Bilsma has always been a
Oh,
dog for us. And Ethan Mackey was an all-star 2 years ago. He's our Mac and he's coming back and he's an absolute dog.
oh, perfect. It's funny because I tried to get him on the show when I first started, but like, oh no, I can't. I'm going to juniors. And I saw him. Wait, did he play last year? I can't remember.
I think he played our very first game, and then he went to junior.
Okay. Yeah, when I saw that, I'm like, wait a minute. So maybe I can have him
Yeah,
on.
he played one game and then went to junior.
Okay. So yeah, I think you guys are looking to build from that season for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Alrighty. So with I'll say all the success, is there anyone you would like to thank for your journey through life and to this point?
Well, Tyler Henry, 100%. When I was in high school, they had a place called Playmaker U in Sherwood Park. It was like a academy for different sports. Like they had like Kamel Peterson. He used to play for the Eskimos. He ran the facility, and then Tyler was one of the coaches there. He was studying for his kin, and me and him I would train under him a lot. And then, like I said, once I got back into football, he was at like Florida Atlantic,
Mm.
um, North Arizona. Now he's like Tennessee Volunteers, like strength and conditioning director. And,
Oh yeah.
like he's at the big show and he's still making time to make my programs for me, which I mean, I couldn't be more grateful for because I like even my personal fitness, like I wouldn't be where I am at all without his help.
Has he sent you any like volunteer merch?
He's offered to like he said he could get me tickets to a game. So one of these next time that like Bama comes to Tennessee, I want to put that on. That's kind of on my bucket list to go. That would be so cool to go to Neyland for that.
Oh yeah, that'd be dope. Jeez. Yeah, gonna say it's kind of funny how like who you play with, where they'll go in life. Because like I have some guys who play in the CFL that I played with. No NFL guys, but it's amazing the teammates that you've grown up with and where they are now.
Hmm. Yeah, even Josiah Shackle, he was a halfback for us. He's on the Elks right now.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
wild.
he's another guy that went.
Yeah, it's kind of cool too because um, this is funny. So I got a lot of shit for this comment on NFL the page saying that Shador is kind of like the Bronny James, and people are saying, "Oh, you're just U37 player. You're holding on to some was it some football dreams." But it's not even about that. It's just playing the game and
Mhm.
getting to like it's kind of like a brotherhood. And the AFL it boosts players up to play like further on. Like just look at
Absolutely.
what was it? Just look at Bryce. He's playing overseas now. Then guys playing in CFL. So kind of cool playing with those guys and saying, yeah, I can compete with them.
Well, 100%. And like, that's what I like how our league is like that, right? Like, I mean, I like to view our league as more of like semi pro than beer league. Like,
Mhm.
great athletes like Bryce, like Bryce dominated our league. He absolutely deserves to go where he goes, right? And like, I tell people, like, this is it is basically semi pro. Like, there are guys that were in the CFL and they're now like it's competitive. Like, it's way more physical than junior. Like, you're playing against grown men. Like,
Yeah.
there's a thing against playing against like early 20s versus like guys that have played pro. Like, you got that old man strength, right?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, this is a surprise question for you. What team in
Okay.
the NFL do you love to play against?
Um, Definitely Cold Lake. Definitely
Mhm.
Cold Lake.
How come?
When I played, when I was with the Elite, there was that big rivalry with them. Like,
Mhm.
it just started. Like, I had played against a lot of those guys when I was in Valley, and they were with West Shore. And like, I remember the very first play of my AFL career. Like, it was Desmond Kerr, and like I didn't really remember him, but he remembered me, and he like called me out, and I was like, oh crap, it's on. It's always fun to play against them just because of that rivalry, and they're a very good team as well. Like, I don't
True.
think we've ever beat them.
No, it's I think the only teams that actually beat them was the Gators and the Cowboys.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because when I was with Elite, my 2 years, we never beat them. Then obviously the Bucs haven't since I've been there.
yeah. Well, you guys should have beat them because there's that one year you guys were up big, then couldn't finish it. If you remember,
Yes, yeah,
yeah. Uh, well, we'll see this year. It should be an interesting one.
absolutely, yeah. Anybody's game.
Exactly. Alrighty. So, Graham, that's the end of the show. Thank you for being my guest. Is there anything
Absolutely.
you'd like to say to the Bucks fan base?
Just keep believing in us. We're trying our best. We know that last year isn't what anybody wanted, and we're determined to improve on what the product was last year. Things will get better.
Awesome. That's what I love to hear. Okay, so before we leave, I'm doing a new thing now where I have my guests say my outro. Do you know what that is?
You have to remind me.
Okay, so the outro is mic check, checking out.
Mic check, checking out.
Perfect.